or not a Liberian, but they did give the country from where the tea was brought into Liberia, smuggled into Liberia, Kenya. So if if that is true, and given how it left Kenya into Liberia, and given the seriousness of it with the time that we're in now, election period, and if it reaches the Kenyan government, they too will open an investigation to know exactly, because it borders on their reputation too now. So, from a diplomatic standpoint, they may not want to leave it as it is. So, it can be reported in their home too that they are exporting drugs into
Sure.
Liberia
Sure.
to cause chaos. So, they might want to address it investigatively from their end if it reaches them.
So that's just it. That is it. Just a lineup quickly at 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock already. We are going to take a guest from the United States of America, and he's going to speak on peace during our campaign period. I'm trying to get him here through our Facebook or page. His name is Samuel L. Huff III, and he was born and raised in Johnsonville, Monterey County. And Andrews, he's going to be here speaking about peace and also talking few issues on the country or about the country. He's going to be here doing that. We will take him from 8 to 8:45. And at 8:45, we will take Grace. Grace is in Bon County presently with His Excellency George Maniwia. She went there to do some coverage on him. We are going to take her at 8:45 to be able to get the atmosphere there to know what's going on, what's unfolding within Bon County. And also at 9 o'clock, we will take our last segment for today's edition. So now let's get Samuel Huff on the line and see as to if he can talk about peace within the country. If you are just tuning in, this is Voice of Liberia 104.1. And if you are following us through Facebook, or just drop a comment and it will be read at the end of this discussion. Good morning, Samuel. How are you?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You are live on Voice of Liberia 104.1.
Yeah, good morning, Samira, Samuel. How you guys doing this morning?
We are okay.
Okay, that's great.
Mm.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here.
Yes, you are live.
Yeah, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to appear on your show this morning. And this is not my constitutional right; it's a privilege, and I just want to thank you.
Okay. So you are based in the United States of America, but a Liberian. Looking at the electoral period now, we are on campaign and seeing all of the violence issues that have been going on. What do you have to say to Liberians about that?
Well, uh, first and foremost, what I would like to say to our people that we should learn our lesson. We should always take a back, reflect on where we came from to where we are now.
Okay.
That elections, it's not time for violence. And regardless of what happened, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different political parties that are contesting for the highest office in the land. It is obvious that we all will have philosophical differences and party ideology, but that should not lead to violence, because we've seen over the years where violence has gotten us nowhere, and it's the reason why we find ourselves being one of the poorest nations in the world today. And I urge Liberians, as we go to the poor, come October 10, that we should be mindful We should keep the peace because at the end of the day, that's the only way moving forward. Regardless of the outcome of the election, peace will always be our home.
Okay, so Andrews, you have some questions. All right, so looking at you basing in Liberia, what's your vision like a young man coming up and being educated in Liberia? How you plan on helping or developing the country?
Well, at the time being a young man, and I really, really, I'm so proud of Liberia. Born and raised in Johnsonville, the suburb, roughly about 30 miles west of, northwest of the capital, Monrovia. Um, um, you know, I I'm really, really humble to be from Liberia, and my humble beginning. So, moving forward, over the next couple of years, that I have some friends and partners that we have put together some plans. But in order for it to work, our nation has to be stable. We need to have a stable country where we see our economy start to flourish. And by stable, we can have some of the things you see, what we see on the news. And no one wants to put investment into a nation where the outcome, they won't know the outcome. Because I tell you one thing, Samira, when you come to the Western world, everything you do, you have to work hard for it. And in doing so, you just don't want to see your investment go down the drain. And over the next couple of months, hopefully after the election, regardless of whosoever win the election, it's not about election. It's about the people of Liberia. And again, like I said earlier, peace would be the key to Liberia long-term stability and growth. Yes, not a political party, but peace will be the long-term to Liberia stability and growth.
All right.
Stability and growth.
Okay, though you are in the US, but who are you or supporting this election?
Well, one thing I do know, the Liberian people will make the best choice. Come October 10th, the people of Liberia go to the poll, and it will decide whether to re-elect President we have for another 6 years, or to re-elect any one of those opposition candidates. I know when I read the other day, they have about 20 opposition candidates, and I just left 3-4 weeks ago. I was on ground. So, looking at the country right now, where we are, and I just want to be upfront. Joseph Biden, vice president for the last 12 years. And most importantly, this man has been in government for well over 42 plus years.
Okay.
And if you look at our nation, the youth population in Liberia, and I don't know how much more a boycott can bring to the table. Now, with the we administration, I do understand there are some challenges that the we administration face. And the thing I will say to President Weah, if re-elected, those next 6 years is where he have to leave his legacy. And there are some changes. He will have to make some changes. You have to make some changes in government, in the civil seven era, and all over in government, especially in his that he control. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people, regardless of who I support, the Liberian people will have to make that ultimate decision on where the country is going moving forward.
But you sounded like you are supporting CDC.
Well, I, here's my thought on it. Here's
Okay.
my thought.
Okay.
President Weah, came on board 6 years ago. And when I look at the trajectory of where the country is going, an example for in 2022, a lot of the problem we face in our country today, I can't directly pinpoint it to President Weah. Our human capital is very bad. Our human growth capital is very, very bad. And human capital, a lot of times, it's over. I'll tell you, it starts with our education system, our healthcare system, our roads, our food, everything. Those things, that's what I'm talking about in terms of infrastructure is bad. And if you have a society, Samira, that is pretty much semi-civilized or little, because you cannot have growth with a low education system. There is no way it's going to happen. Okay. There's no way it's going to happen. We'll have to improve on it. And what President Weah have done is not that much. I mean, he inherited an economy, he inherited a nation. Look, if anybody could have done a lot better with life, it was the previous administration, Unity Party. They received from the international community over $17 billion over the last 12 years. And when I was in Liberia about a few weeks ago, I went to the JFK hospital. I visited the University of Liberia. I went to several places and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So with the little president we have, he's trying his best. He's doing the best. And hopefully over the next 6 years, if he re-elected, and I think the people of Liberia will have to make that decision again. But I'm sure President Weah will be re-elected from what I seen and what I know thus far.
Okay, so let's look at the development and infrastructure part of Liberia. You are always visiting Liberia, and how do you see the country whenever you return? Looking at the previous country we had, are you seeing any developments going on massively? Is there any development?
And I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. You sit in studio right now. If you take the equipment you use in studio and you break it apart, I tell you what, if you come 24 hours later, try to put those equipment back together and see how long it will take you. Here is it. We spend about 14 plus years damaging our country. Mm-hmm. From 2003, all the way, from 1990 to 2003, 15 years or 17 years of infrastructure damages all across the board. Everywhere. You don't expect for us to get it back up and running. The country is not a fast food. You come to Liberia right now, and I went to a couple of fast food places here to make some food for you and give it to you, that fast food. But that's not the case for the country. It is much more easier to destroy. But to build, it takes some time. And long after President, we had 6 years re-election, or whosoever that is elected president not going to be able to get this country back up and running, because we spend most of the time destroying the country.
Okay, so Yara said there's a bill currently before the legislature seeking to legislate the tuition of free policy and free schools, wise payment, free university, and everything. President Weah is pushing that. What do you make of that? Do you support that coming into this country, the free school?
Yes, I do. You remember when we started, I talked about Liberia human capital, and that is exactly what I meant. Because if We cannot educate our young people, Samira. If we cannot educate our young people in Liberia, I'm telling you something. It's a waste of time.
Mm.
Because we need our human capital to be up to global standard. If it's not up to global standard, but that Liberians will be able to compete globally. How do you want an investor and company investing in Europe when we have one of the lowest education system in the country? Now, so when these investors come into the country, investment come into the country with all these, you wanted to bring to come along with it. Why did you leave our Liberian especially the young ones? So we need to do a whole lot more in building our education system. And that's what I talk about human capital. Our human capital must improve.
And how do you think that we can build for this education system?
That's a good one. We must go back to basic. In terms of building our education system, we must start to hold our government accountable.
Mm.
We hold the government accountable. We must invest into education. We
Okay.
must invest into our healthcare system. I mean, I don't know the budget right now for education in Liberia, but I'm pretty sure here in California where I live, the budget for education is well top up to $1 billion a year in education
Mm.
in California. Yeah. Of course, California has the second largest economy in the world. Recently, I checked where they moved down to fifth. I'm on the move up to fifth. So it's a very large state. You know, so with Liberia, we must invest more money into our education system. If we can't do that, we are not going nowhere. Look, I went while I was in Liberia, I visited some places, and I'm not going to name them. I saw some brilliant young men and women. Oh my God, I was so impressed. Brilliant young women and women, and I strongly believe from the bottom of my heart, if they are given the opportunity and given the platform, and look what you're doing. You know, Samira, is still. I'm pretty sure if we can improve infrastructure in the country all across the board, and when I mean infrastructure, I'm not only talking about building. A lot of times people think when you talk about infrastructure, they talk about big sky ride building. No, it's infrastructure. I'm talking about our economy. I'm talking about our healthcare system. I'm talking about our food. I'm talking about our roads. Those are the things I'm talking about. We have to improve on it. We have to invest. Look, going back to President Salih, 12 years in office, the country received 17 plus $billion over the last 12 years.
Mm.
And I know President Salih did some work, but could she have done a lot more? Yes. This is not my word. This is the word from Joseph Boyka. He said, I quote, we squander a lot.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that. Mhm.
Yeah, this is not my word. Those are the exact words from Joseph Boyka. We squander a lot. So if I'm giving you this figure and we squander, so just think how much we squander.
Mm. So you are saying that because you spoke of Joseph Walker being vice president for the last 12 years, and he has served in government over 42 years, which we are all. So are you saying that if Joseph Walker happens to be elected as president by the Liberian people, he will not be able to develop the country or be able to deliver to his people, looking at all of the years he has spent in power, and you are terminated as he did nothing much for his country?
Well, I, I won't tell you, he did not much, but could he have done a lot more than what he did? Perhaps yes. Uh, After all those years in government, 42 plus years, a private topic, but most importantly, more recently, 12 years. Here is a vice president. His office received about $2 million a year. Hmm? This is how much Joseph Boyka office received, right? About $2 million a year. He had $2 million every year.
But then Joseph Boyka said that he was an old car parked in the garage.
Well, I think the Liberian people will make that determination whether he was an old car park or was a car just moving around, coming around in the night with nobody around, where he can take and then go back in the garage in the day. We'll see on October 10th. The Liberian people will make that determination. But his office on the record, again, the number I'm giving you are not my numbers. His office receives roughly about $2.1 million a year.
Okay.
For 12 years. If in totality, Boyka office received roughly about $36 to $40 million in bonus and allowances over the last 2.5 years. Where did all the money go? Again, Joseph Boyka were we squander a lot. What do you think he meant by when he said we squander? He said we squander.
Okay, but probably he could be talking because he was in the government, right? You don't want to do name or game blames, right? He could be saying that.
Yeah. Well, look, Samira, here's the and I can't work in studio with you, and we disseminate information every day that doesn't help the country, right? And how do you disassociate yourself from information that we disseminate and out there that cause chaos and that is not right for our society? But you've been there for 12, 13 years now. Do you say, oh, I was not the one responsible? At one point, you have to take responsibility.
Okay, so let me bring you back a little to where you talked about when you came to Liberia, you saw young people, smart ones that you feel that they can do better for the country. Do you have plans of helping or young people within Liberia in whatever means? It could be through
Yes, yes, I do.
business.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You know, again, born and raised in Johnsonville, Montserrat County. You know, after I left Liberia as a teenager, I went to Sierra Leone for 3 years. What I see happening in Liberia, my heart, I was so disgusted with what happened in our country. And I avoid and not to ever return to Liberia. But as time went by, the healing process had to take place. And I will tell you this from the bottom of my heart, there's no place like home. You know, even after spending all these countless years abroad, I've always, Liberia always hold a special place in my heart. And for the first time back in 2020 or 21, I returned to Liberia after 20 some more years. You know, and I was driving from the airport. And since I got back 2020 or 2021, I've been there consistently over the last 3 years. I've been to Liberia. And there's a lot of opportunities that I see. Again, you know, I have time to visit a lot of stores in Liberia. But all that I see in Liberia, and that I see that lots and lots of foreign nationals, they are prospering in Liberia. And it hurts my heart so much when I see our young women and girls on Boulevard Junction and Sinkhall and SKD Boulevard, Deviate, and all around the place, selling wheat barrels. And I know they're much better than that. I know deep down in my heart. I talk to them. I talk with them on the street.
Okay.
I sat down with them. I ate lunch with them. And I know they can do a whole lot better than that. And look, we cannot depend on government to do everything in Liberia. Government cannot do everything. It's incumbent upon us as Liberian to help our nation. The late U.S. President John F. Kennedy, back in 1969, 69, don't quote me the exact time, during his inauguration, he said, ask now what your country can do for you, or what can you do for your country? That was during his inauguration speech back in 1960 or something like that. Yeah, that was his speech. And that's what he said. So, for many, many Liberians all across the world, what can we do? Some of the images that the project of the country, we can't start to continue to back up the country and expect a miraculous turnover. We have to be a product of change ourselves.
Okay.
It baffles me when I was in Liberia and some of my friends said, "Oh, let's go to Ghana." I said, "Go to Ghana for what?" "Oh, Ghana have this, Ghana have that." Ghana said, "So, how do you think Ghana got there?" And I noticed a lot of us in Liberia, we don't like to work hard to fix our problem. But now you want to go to Ghana. But how do you think Ghana got to where they are today? And that's,
Okay. So, do you have any plans of for being a politician or going into the political space?
you know, again, politics, it's not something that I don't see that in my immediate future. But all options are on the table, and that I can't rule it out. But first and foremost, in order to help your nation, you don't have to be a politician.
Okay.
Okay? You don't have to be a politician. There's so many holes in Liberia that you can plug into. You can plug into.
Or many
And
will say how because most of the politicians or those candidates now they are wanting to go into the house first before they start to help the people where they will be able to pass off for their district or community. Or many see that as money making thing. They see politics as money making thing. Most often when you see people start to help the Liberian people or give back to the Liberian people, then they start to go into politics. You don't see people just helping people around Liberia free. Is something that we have seen. You have just few among 100. You have few that just give back to the Liberian people freely without going into politics, like Waka Sharif, like Sekou Sharif. These are people that just give back to the Liberian people. And this goes on, but many people start to help the Liberian people. When they start to help is when they start to go into politics because they feel that going into politics will give them the ample space to be able to do things for their community or their district. So, looking at you from Josephville, don't you have plans of going to politics? Looking at you that you grew up in Josephville, maybe you would like to help the people from Josephville. You want to make laws for them from Josephville.
well, Samir, I'll say this. Politics for me, maybe in the unforeseeable future, not right now. I would like to continue to stay on the humanitarian side. And if I do decide to venture into politics, um, one thing I'll make sure that I will sign a declaration, and I'll make sure that not a penny from whatsoever pay the government gonna pay me. 90% of what I get paid will go right back into the community or district or whatever I do decide. God has blessed me over the years in the U.S. I'm not a rich man, I'm not a wealthy man, but I think I've worked enough and I've earned to be able to take care of myself. Okay? There is nothing, while I was in Liberia, there is nothing that I stand in Liberia that I can afford in the U.S. And I don't think the people of Liberia need the money the most. One thing I will prioritize in Liberia is our education system. We have to educate our people. We have to educate our people. And when I look around today in our country, I see our young people. We need to do something. There is two, a pastor once said, he said, one of the most brilliant minds in the graveyard. No, not one, but some of the most brilliant minds are in the graveyard. Their dreams are already dead before they even realize it. And we need to do something about it. We cannot do it. It's not only government. It's every single one of us have to come together. We spend too much time bickering over political parties in Liberia. That's all we do all day on social media. Can you imagine the countless hours that we spend on social media on political parties? If we spend that time being innovative, being creative on what we can do to move the nation forward, can you imagine what it would be today?
Okay. So, are you working with the Liberian community in the US? Do you have some link with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Great. You can Google it. And I sent you a link. I believe I sent you a link from 2013 to 2017. I was president of the Liberian American Community Association of Southern California.
From 2013 to 2015?
No, 2013 to 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. I won the elections in 2013 and got inaugurated in 2014. Right around the time, about 6 months into my after I assumed office, at that time we had the Ebola crisis in Liberia. Well, my community and myself, we went into gear. We were able to send 2 containers to Liberia, totaling over roughly close to about $500,000, about $250,000 to $500,000. And also during that time, there was an organization on the ground called More Than Me. More Than Me that was headed by Katie Mayer.
Okay.
I signed a check of $10,000 on behalf of our community that was donated to our Capital Group. And I also give that to her. You can check that. And I sent you an article that during the Ebola campaign, I had an interview with the Los Angeles Times. And the Los Angeles Times is the biggest newspaper in Los Angeles, in Southern California. The biggest is the brand newspaper. And they did an interview with me, and we talked a little bit about Liberia. And also our community worked with EULA. I don't know if you're aware of EULA, the Unions of Liberians in America, EULA.
Yeah. I'm aware.
Yeah. Huh?
I said I'm aware.
Okay, yeah. So I'm pretty sure you're smart, so that's something I know you are. I worked with EULA, and at the time, His Honorable Gay D. Slegg Jr. was the president, and we helped, our community were able to make a $4,000 donation to help with the dual citizenship fight in Liberia.
Okay.
Because we was able to help roughly about $4,000 to help, because we felt at the time, look, we wanted the dual citizenship bill to pass because we don't want to exclude ourselves from the society, from our country. We want to be part of our country. We want to help bring development to Liberia. And that is why that dual citizenship bill was very, very important to me at the time I was president of our association. Long after I left in 2017 as president, currently I do work with the president. His name is William King. He was the vice president with me at the time. And the community is flourishing.
Okay.
We flourish. And last week I had the opportunity, 3 weeks ago when I got back from Liberia, the community invited me to speak at a church on a late day program, and some member from the community and I was there. I spoke, and our community, and I'm totally involved with our community here. We continue to flourish.
Okay.
So read that article I send you. You will see a whole lot of information and that we did during the Ebola campaign. We were
Okay.
very active because we and again I say Liberia is a place that I hold dearly to my heart.
Okay, so just before we get leave of you or take leave of you, can you give out your peace message to Liberians ahead of October 10th general elections?
Yeah,
Okay.
fellow Liberians, I will say this that from 1989 to 2003, we witnessed violence uh, worldwide. We saw how our young women, our children, future president, doctors, lawyers, scientists, entrepreneurs. We saw what happened in Liberia. We were all destroyed. A lot of dreams got perished before it even started. Uh, we saw a complete breakdown of our society. And I will give you a scripture from the Bible. And it says, Second Chronicle, chapter 2, verse 17 says, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves, pray, and stay away from their wicked ways, I will heal the land. And I ask God to continue to heal our land. I noticed we have lots and lots of churches in Liberia. And I said to myself, why? All these churches in Liberia, you were saying heaven is in Liberia, but that's not the case. We must clear our minds, our hearts. We must open our hearts for development. That nowhere in the history, violence has never paid any dividend. You cannot kill your way out of province. And as we move forward to this election, October 10th, let us stay calm, regardless of the outcome. And one might not like everybody want a political party to win.
Hmm.
And as much as I would like to see the CDC continue, but if the Liberian people decide that Joseph Boycott will be the best belief, I support. I'll continue to work with whosoever the Liberian people pay because the country is bigger than just me. It's bigger than just me. I'll never allow my feelings to get in the way.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
in Liberia, we are Liberian first and political party last.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel Huff. It was nice having this conversation with you on Voice of Liberia 104.1. We hope that we keep having conversation like this with you to be able to enlighten Liberians' mind on peace as we get towards the elections. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So that was the voice of Samuel Huff, and he spoke on peace. Quickly, we are going to contact Grace. She's in Bone County. Like I said, she's there with the president of the Republic of Liberia. So let's get her online so that she be able to bring us happenings as it relates to the president visit to Bone County. She will talk about that, and afterwards, we are going to open the phone lines to be able to talk to Liberians. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Samira, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. My name is Grace Williams Joshua, and I'm on the field as the president campaign for County.
Okay, Chris. I must say this, like you might not be on the show, but due to course you have to attend that
Yeah.
quickly. But how's the atmosphere there?
Well, as of yesterday, the atmosphere was very, very welcoming. Liberians turned out in their numbers from all districts to welcome His Excellency Dr. George Maniwia at the entrance of Bon County, and we were actually at Lower Bon County yesterday, where the president walked in.
Okay,
And the traditional chiefs, they came in at numbers, presented him rice and cola and a white chicken, and gave him the key to the county before he could enter the county. And also on the scene with Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. She escorted some chief and elders who were on ground all throughout before the president and his interact got in.
okay. So how was the crowd there? Like the place
Well,
was overwhelmingly packed.
at the welcoming ceremony, the crowd was well attended. Like they came in their number, like I said, librarians from all the districts in this county went to welcome President. We are in the county. When we left, we went to dedicate a market in Salala, and they came up in their number as well. After that, we went to Debeta, a community that the St. Paul River is located, and that bridge that there was a bridge that the citizen has been crying for in a very long time now, and former Vice President Joseph Yuma Baka was able to provide an old-fashioned ferry for, and they've been using with their hand to cross. So President, we have visited yesterday, and they put their plights before him, and at the same time, he was able to instruct Finance Minister Samuel Twe with immediate effect to start the assessment of the construction of that road, and also for the maritime boss, who is now the campaign chair of the Coalition for Democratic Change, in person of Len Eugene Nangwe, to immediately make available a morning a ferry, and the people will start using. And he also expressed his disappointment in the government, with in past government and government before him, for abandoning undeveloped community.
Okay, so what was his statement at the market that he dedicated?
Well, he did not say anything. He only cut the ribbon. But after we left our Jevita, we came back to another community. We came back to the Batara community, and he was happily welcome. And with that program took place in the night, citizens there waiting for him at 9 p.m. Can you imagine? It was still in the
Yes, I
streets
saw.
waiting for President Weah. When he got there, you could see how happy and excited they were. And the superintendent, the acting superintendent, requested for a zinc because he said the war caused a lot of horses there to be leaking, and he requested that those things be changed. And with immediate effect, the president was able to make available 100 of zinc for that project to take place. He also went ahead to make some promises and some fulfillment and things that people requested were actually attended to. And also, there's a girl that presented the first time voters applied at Salala District. She immediately had a scholarship to any university of her choice. So these are some of the happenings on the president tour.
So you can't tell the public how many communities or districts the president visited yesterday.
Well, actually, we visited 3 communities. We hold in the three communities and districts, and so far so good.
And you
That's
people
where
you people are still in Bon County.
Yeah, we have a trip this morning. We have a trip. I will be updating you tomorrow as of today's activities. But as it stands, the people of Bon County are excited and they are in the numbers. They came up yesterday to grace this occasion. And I seem to be corrected though. The president still one of the biggest politicians you have found, and whenever he enters a country in Liberia, all Liberians stand up in the numbers to officially welcome him.
So is it that he's going to make the whole week in Bon County, or when he's expected to leave that county?
Well, as it stands, protocol demands that some information will not be shared with the public.
Okay.
The president's security also is on the line. We are here to serve the public and we'll be updating them as we push towards any activities that the public needs to know.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Thanks for sharing that information with the public.
Okay, and
Is there anything you want
I
to
will
say?
have I will be with you shortly, and I apologize for just cutting and not allowing the public to know where I was coming. But as it stands, we have to serve our people, and we remain permanent and secure to making sure that Liberians are updated and informed when it comes to national issues. So that's why I have to take my essay refugees. But I'm here doing Liberian people well work always. Thank you, Samara.
I would like to ask this question: how's the atmosphere like there with journalists? How many journalists you have there carrying this information live? How's the place there like with the journalists? Because I'm told that it's the executive marshal reporters. Is it only the executive marshal reporters, or you have other reporters from different institutions?
There are a lot of journalists from cross sections and different institutions, but as it stands, since you want to know our activities for today, we will be visiting Palala.
Okay.
Today, we will also be delegating the oxygen plant, and we'll be having a political rally today also. And we will go to Deantown today. There'll be a delegation of school, a delegation of market, and also a political rally in Deantown. We'll be going to Bakole District 2 as well today, and there will be a political rally in Bakole District today. So the journalists from the county are also here to make sure that this program is a success. And as it says, we don't only have executive marshal reporters here. There are other journalists, other media institutions, independent. When I say independent freelancers that just came to grace this program, and we have the Publisher Association. And there are a lot of journalists here to make sure that this event is properly propagated to the Liberian people.
Okay. Okay, Chris. Thank you.
Okay, Samara, and thank you as well for serving the Liberian people
All right.
and
Thank
giving
you.
them a coffee this morning.
Exactly. Okay, so this is how we take leave of Grace Williams Joshua. She's currently in Bone County with the President of the Republic of Liberia. And she just gave us some updates, Andrew. Let's take our last talking point before we start to open the phone lines. Andrew, what do you make of
The president is a celebrity.
that? Mhm.
That's the first thing. Everywhere he goes, everybody comes out. He's not the only person with such a history in Liberia. Every president that comes to Liberia or sends to the presidency, whenever he or she is out, people turn out in the mass. Even if the president is just moving around the city, you see people leave their respective offices to come. You see people peeping through the window. Some will come on this side. It's just in the DNA of the people. And the lady he gave the scholarship to, she did extremely well. We did listen to her. Her presentation was good, but there is confusion within the county. The county representative, Mema Briggs Menza, is in the middle. She got a couple of interests. Now, how they're going to handle it, that is not President's weird issue to talk about or to meddle in. I just brought that in just so you know how the political trend is
Yes, in
looking
Bone County.
presently. Yeah, but the atmosphere, as we've heard her say, is okay, and I think the message is resonating. I listened to him talk about what he has done, and as it is or has become his custom, whenever he's closing, he will tell the people that they did nothing. 12 years, they had the opportunity. They didn't rescue the people 12 years, and they want to rescue now. They got nothing to present. They people shouldn't listen to them, and I think it's a fine way to campaign to tell the people don't listen. Uh, any opposition, anybody, any politician can do that. Uh, Meaning that if you have done something and you remind the people, they come into you, so they come in to persuade you. So you have to be very careful. You have to be discerning enough so that they don't take you off from what we have done. But you can see for yourself, we have done a lot more. And the campaign has entered the heated stage. We've got, I think, 28 days to go.
Yeah.
He has entered the heated stage. the boiling point, and they will now have to hit the hard to reach area. They're going to move into, and they have to, into remote parts of the country.
Sure.
But I think the message is resonating. They are sending their messages across. They are making the case like any other political party. And at the close of the day, everybody is at the mercy of the people on October 10th.
Oh, okay. So we are not taking calls yet. We are going to go with our last segment for today before we just open the phone lines and leave it to the public to start to put in their calls. But for the last segment of uh, today's edition of Good Morning Liberia, we are going to talk about a man who is using baby crops to use it as bush meat in one of the counties. So we'll go over to Sam Andrew so that he bring us.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was ran on the news. I heard that in the newscast, and they from the bits and pieces provided,
mhm,
you can tell that truly it happened. And we live in an evil time, especially in rural Liberia, even in urban Liberia. You have evil people. You have people with devilish intent, least to say, in a primitive environment where the people they they are more carnal than you think they are godly. Godly in a sense that when something happens, you would think, you say, no, let me lead the one. The one you will go. On the other side, no. Two, yeah, people use different things to excel. People work for people. People um, hire other people for different things.
okay,
Too
so
many
so
things are happening in the election. So
yeah,
that is true. The entire story, we saw it, listened to it, listening to a couple of voices from there, and it's with the people they are still investigating. And they said they could not go to the grave site. They could not go there because of the angry crowd.
oh, yeah, sure. I would just like to do some readings and bring the public up to speed about this. And if you are following us through Facebook, I urge that you share the live video and drop a comment it will be read at the end of this discussion. So this one says, Mayor confessed to selling hemo parts as bushmeat in Maryland County. It actually happened in Maryland County. Let me just bring you a few part of it. It says police in southeastern Maryland County are currently investigating a 27-year-old man identified as Francis Sompon for possessing what is believed to be human parts extracted from the crops of a deceased baby. So I'm going to hold it right there. I just wanted to let the public know the particular county that this is happening is actually happening in Maryland County. And the thing is, Sir Andrews, he admitted to it and he sounded like it wasn't his first time doing it. It's something that he always do when he sells bushmeat.
But that was not introduction.
Mm,
He wasn't being indoctrinated.
mhm,
No, he is a merchant, a
mhm,
business person. That's what he does. So, and people take advantage. Either the person does it himself or herself, or people take advantage of the person to use the person as a surrogate. Like people will trade drugs, and the drug traders will use a middleman.
mhm.
Once they know that you are doing business, you are trafficking, moving, then they see you as a good transit to get their drugs.
So
So probably he was used that way, or that's something that he does. So this time around, it didn't work for him as he planned it. But in such an area, you expect that everywhere, building and completely devilish. I think it was for an intent.
it's something that is very bad. It's something that we should be able to speak against. Because you got people buying it and eating it.
Yeah, but it was done on purpose. These ritualistic acts are done on purpose.
So
They are premeditated,
let me get this
well
clear.
executed.
Okay, it was done on purpose. So the thing here is he's selling bush meat. So it's done on purpose for him to be selling hemo parts to
But
people
how
for
how
them to eat.
look, the story that's what the story said, that
Okay,
he sells bush
bush
meat.
meat. Mhm.
That's what reported. What is reported to the investigators? they accept it. That's private information. And they go beyond that to do their own background investigation. So it was reported that that's the trade he does. He sells bush meat. But given what came out, you the investigation also proved that he wasn't a bush meat seller. The other side of it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
It's why you got
Yeah,
dig
yeah,
deeper.
that's what the
To
reporter
go for
told
the
the
information.
investigators. The investigator will not really deny Bushmeat. If they went into a place and say Sam Andrews, it is reported that Sam Andrews is this, the police investigators or the investigators will accept it. That's private information. So they will use that private information now to do the background investigation to determine whether the information given them as private information is the reality, is the truth. That is the reason why they conduct preliminary investigation. So it was reported that he's selling bushmeat. He's a bushmeat seller. But what has come in can do away with bushmeat seller and
They say that
the extraction of human parts seller. That what it is portrayed.
so sell human parts. Like it was a baby grave he dug.
And if you look at the event carefully, you will tell that it was a syndicate, that he's not alone,
Mhm,
but his name is up.
mhm.
So from the investigation, it is very likely that other name or names will come out.
So they found the parts of the baby with him.
They the investigation,
Yeah.
oh yes. So it may was done on
And
purpose.
and I even got information. The information I gathered was the grave was actually tampered with, but they are not going to angry crowd.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was reported by the people too. Yeah, yeah. So tampering with a grave is just to say, yeah, let's take the parts or the remaining elements so that when if the investigators came, they will have no clue or nowhere to start. So it's just like saying destroy evidence.
You know, Andrew, this is what I can say about wickedness. That is wickedness in the higher places. Why would somebody bury their child and you go and dig the grave to get their parts out of them? That is
No, I
that
don't
is
think the child was buried. I think the child was surreptitiously or demonically taken, and then parts were extracted. Yes, if you listen to the news, there there way it goes. Yes,
it's
the people did not get angry
okay.
because he went to the grave. It could be that way, but what I heard was the parts were already extracted and buried. So they
Mm.
wanted to know where the star was buried. Simple as that.
Okay, so I'm trying to get the reading here. Uh, okay, it says total leadership of the town has been able to visit the baby's grave, has not been able to visit the baby's grave due to the angry crowd. The clan chief told the reporter that few family members of the deceased child have confirmed that the grave was tampered with. So he took the parts up before they buried the child.
That's what it seems.
They really,
But if you,
the paper
if the
here is not actually
if
telling
the
me that.
plan if the plan in a demonic setting, the plan is not to get the entire body. The plan is to get certain part. The person who is performing the ritual
So here is it.
will request for a certain part,
It
and
says
that part has to be extracted. That's why
I'm actually trying to get this at a point where people out there will understand the particular thing. Was it that this child was alive when he took the parts from on the child?
that I cannot say, but I'm quoting the
Because
script.
okay, because the script here it says, meanwhile, the police said suspect Pompon has admitted to the allegation during a preliminary investigation and has since been charged with abuse of corpse.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I'm saying, man, made it.
Yeah, he admitted
So I
to it.
may say, yeah, the thing you're saying, the
Yeah, I
thing you're saying
understand.
about me, that
Mhm. I'm just trying to train our path where we will get everything there so that people who are calling they be able to know where to stretch that point.
But that's it. That's what happening all over the place,
Mm.
all over, everywhere. From the very first day God created the world, such demonic act came in. It will exist in different places, in different ways, in different forms, until the world come to an end. Even the new world, you will still have that.
But
And
don't you think that these things it should be debunked? We should be able to talk about it and be able to
but
prosecute
that is
those
what you're doing
to
now.
prosecute those who are into it. Though we know that it will happen till the war ends and another war comes, it will still happen. But we should be able to talk about it and be able to prosecute those
But it is evil.
who are doing it.
Who cherishes evil? Everybody condemns evil. Any evil act is condemned. Any evil act. Nobody appreciates it. Nobody wants it. Everybody condemns it. Evil is not something of a merrymaking stuff.
Hmm.
No, it is demonic. It is the act of the devil. And the most wicked person on planet Earth is the devil. So if somebody engaging in such act, that person will not be praised, will be condemned, and even punished if God, like this man who has been caught, like any other person in the past who was caught.
And if he's not into this alone, if he have others behind him, the police should be able to investigate this strongly and be able to get those things out too, because you still have people out there doing this same act. They are
Yeah,
still out there. They will continue doing it. It's only is one they have, but they should be able to carry the investigation properly. That you be able to show, like if I'm the one that they are investigating now, they'd be able to investigate me strongly. I'll be able to tell them that, oh, I'm in this with so and so person is that my one who is in it, so that they be able to get all of those people in Maryland County that are involved with this such act. Because until then, it will not stop. Because
it is in two ways.
Mhm.
It is either individual or group.
Okay.
It's doing either a person goes to execute the plan by the instruction or from the instruction of the person who is going to perform the ritual, or it is executed by a group of people. So it's in two ways. Those are the two ways. The person can decide to do a given who he is, who she is, what he or she does, or individual. Some people they are hired to collect the. It's happening all around. I think about a couple of months ago, a lady was telling me because we are in this same locale, but she had moved to a given place.
Okay.
So when she came for a visit and she was being asked about the place, how it was, and she was very honest to her sisters. I was only giving an eardrop, and she said that the place they go to bed between 5:30, 6 o'clock. If you are out 6:30, 6:45, anything happen, and she went on to say the reason for that because at certain point in time in the night, you see black cars
Hmm.
passing, no lesson plate. And she was honest enough. She made it clear. She said that her son almost got killed or got caught, that he went out and she didn't know. She thought that he was in, only to realize that he was out and she was worried. Fortunately for her, they only heard sound. And that sound was why her son came running with terrific speed or in terrific speed, only to tell that when he got home that a black car was chasing him. So it's all over everywhere in Morovia, in the counties, everywhere. That is why you have to be very careful. People can make themselves available to be used. People are called
Yeah,
and
at
then
times,
they are giving 500, 1,000,
hmm,
and say, I
because
want to do this and I want you to do that. And they disguise themselves. Sometimes they just put the mask on so you will not see the person's face who is giving the money, but the content or what the person wants you to do will explain it and then will put the money forward. That is 1,000 United States dollars. We'll put 500 upfront. Once you can get the person, you get your balance 500.
It's something that we should be very careful of how we move with it. Look at what happened the other day. Let me link it with the issue where the man killed his woman over cassava leaf rice. It just shows that we have to be careful because at times even the person you will even know the best,
It's
they will
only rare.
cassava
You're
leaf.
right.
That's just I'm not
The- that for rare been in that cage. You
he said that he can't eat cassava leaf. Now the woman cooked cassava leaf. He cut all into pieces for cutlass. At the end of the day, he's talking to the people, to the media that
is
they should be
it
able to forgive
is
him.
it that the devil fool here?
Uh-huh.
Because they
Yeah.
can put it on the devil.
You
Everything
look at
that
the
the devil.
cutlass, you talking and tap the woman on the living room, you say, people will forgive you for it. How people can me forgive you for it? It just shows that the war is very evil. At times, your closest friends, your closest who, they might be the worst person. At times, these are some of the people that will even carry you somewhere. So people who go out there and drink, they put something within your drink, they carry you to where they want to
Yeah,
carry you
that's how some
because
people.
of money.
That's how some
The
people
war
went
is very
missing.
evil. Of course.
Till now, mother don't know where the son is. Your father don't know where the daughter is. Brother don't know where the sister is. Wife don't know where the husband is.
Seriously.
They can.
And they will act as if to say they don't know what is happening. They're
Yeah,
going to act
that, listen to the
very.
one. I think that recording is. Yeah, I think Famada did speak to the lady. She said that a friend of her husband, a good friend, called him, and she insisted that he shouldn't go.
I got that.
But
Mhm,
he persuaded her on friendship line
mhm.
that he is his friend, a good friend.
Go for fish
Yeah,
over the water.
yes, yes.
Mhm,
But in the woman's spirit, her spirit wasn't that fine to allow him to go. But according to her, she persuaded. I mean, he persuaded her, and he went, and they went to fishing. And since then,
mhm.
that was the end. Say they
Yes.
discovered his body all
After two
cut,
days.
yeah, cut off and wasted as the water on his
Yeah.
face.
Mhm. I
I
heard
think
about
he
that.
called the guy name. She called the guy and said the guy is referred to as Messi,
Yes. And
a good
since
friend of his.
and since then, I have not seen the particular person. And this person wears or husband carry over the
So
water.
Famada, when they came to speak to her, Famada contacted the police,
Mhm,
and the police thanked Famada for being very professional, and police spokesman Moses Carter went and did the rounds because she said they took him to a police station.
mhm,
So Famada telephoned the police to explain, and she did. And the police spokesman Moses Carter told her that, hold on, let me do the rounds. And he did. And he came back to say, nothing like that. We don't have any case like that. And Famada insisted that the lady, these are the bits and pieces of info the lady has given.
mhm.
So you have to do a tariff check. And he was very magnanimous. Moses Carter went back again to do a round. And he came back to say, oh, Madam Duncan, sorry, we don't have any case like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I think she didn't get the actual place, or are probably giving that she was off balance psychologically. So she just heard that they took him to the police station. I mean, the case, but no, when they found the man, they, they wasted as water on him, they took him, they caught him everywhere, just chop, 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 as you say in Liberia.
Mm.
His own friend. She said that. She said that his friend
Yeah,
called him.
she said that the whole stomach wasn't there. There was no stomach on him when they saw him. They took it off. The whole stomach, there wasn't there was nothing in it when they saw him. It was what she said. And it's very bad because the person who a husband carry over the water to go fishing is someone who is not used to the water. He's learning. Now they went together. And now the person is saying that they cannot a capsule and the man he found his way out and the man left in the
Yeah.
ocean. How is that possible?
But all in all, Sammy, I think it's good. It's all buffet. Sometimes it may not necessarily go the way you want it all of the time, but I think it makes it rather save us sense and saves you from a bigger letdown if you can just listen to your wife,
Mhm.
listen to your husband. Listen, God is not a liar.
Mhm.
You know the story of Julius Caesar?
Mhm.
Before Brutus stabbed Julius Caesar in the back, his wife felt that within herself, she knew that its disaster was before him, and she advised him not to move. But he allowed his intellectual instinct to reign, and then the disaster befell him. And we see that all over in different fictional and non-fictional stories, as well as the very Bible. What happened? Pontius Pilate's wife went to him and said, I sense in my spirit that the disaster you want to allow to happen, it shouldn't be. This man is a sinless man. Don't allow it to happen. In several places, you see. So sometimes you just listen to your wife, you just listen to your husband, listen to your girlfriend, listening to your boyfriend. Ultimately, you listen to your wife. The woman, God said it in a way that the woman has a very sensitive instinct,
Of
very
course.
retentive,
Mhm.
can discern. If you look at society, backtrack into history, and now you'll see that too many women save too many people, save husbands, save fathers, save different people from disasters.
Mhm.
So sometimes if the woman said, "Oh no, I'm not sensing that it's
I'm
right
not
that
feeling
you
good
go,"
about it.
yeah, don't try to pull up that bossy instinct that you're the man. You have to listen. No, sometimes you say, "Oh, okay." Too many men got saved from terrible situation. As soon as they heeded the advice of the woman,
Of
they heard her ran back. Say, "Oh, honey, thank you. You really saved me. Thank you. If I had gone, then by now I'm a deaf news."
Mhm.
And sometimes you just listen. It helps.
Mhm. It helps a lot, and that incident we have to talk about it, and that may be prosecuted a rightful way after all of the investigations, because he admitted to it already that he it's what he's doing, like taking him apart and selling them as bushmeat. And another information came again that he's not a bushmeat seller, so it's still kind of different. But the fact that he admitted that he was the one who did it, it calls for prosecution.
All in all, I mean,
Mm,
rural Liberia.
mhm.
That's it. That's the culture right there. Not everywhere. Not everywhere. There are several places constituting rural Liberia, civilized, clean. People have no time for such evil
And that
thoughts.
is how we want for
But
everywhere to be.
and it can be everywhere can be the same.
Then you'll be taking innocent
No,
lives.
if everywhere would be the same, then God is incomplete. Then creation is incomplete.
Mm.
But everyone got the five senses to be very careful of how you go about your life. Know who you are identifying with, where you are living, how you are living there, what you say, how you live, how
But
you do things.
Andrews, you can't be taking lives of innocent people, and we be referring to that as is how it's
But
looking
we
in
sitting
rural
in this room
areas.
now. We sitting in
It's,
this room. Do I know your intent?
nobody see a
Do
person
you know
heart,
my intent?
neither their
But
mind,
we're seeing each other physical structure.
of course.
Now, only God knows. Only God knows. You can have a very clear plan, good idea, good intent. As soon as you walk out of that door, something trigger, and then you change from the normal person. So just as we get angry, you see the person is so joyful, but
So
walking
yeah,
outside
after
with
two
something trigger,
minutes,
say don't tell me that nonsense. So
yeah.
you see, they had only God knows. Only God knows. We do not know. That's how you're looking. Some people, they were born evil. Some people, they grew up in evil. Some people were indoctrinated into evil,
And
just as the other side.
whenever those people are caught, we will prosecute them the way we are to prosecute them,
But
because
they
it's a
also
devilish behavior.
once the evidence
Yeah, once
is
the evidence
provided.
is provided, definitely we are going to do that, because that is something that we will not take for granted. Why will we be taking hemo parts and selling it? It's something that we have been seeing around. It's something that we know about. But whenever you are caught, if you are doing it, just make sure that you are not caught. Because when you are caught and brought to the media or to the police, And after the investigation and everything, you are proven guilty. Definitely, you will get the punishment you deserve.
And even if the person isn't caught,
Mhm,
he or she can never ever live in peace until death.
mhm.
Have you not seen people did evil? People ain't know about it. At certain point in time, they just start to confess.
Uh-huh. It can happen. It can. They start to get scary.
Mhm.
hmm
Yeah.
Something start to push them because you are taking lives of innocent people, people who did nothing to you. At times, only because of money. Yeah, only because of money. At certain point in time,
But the whole
I
world
got
is
to know that.
business.
Yeah, exactly. So that's their own part of business, but it shouldn't be. At certain point in time, I got to know that even the motorcyclists, some of them at midnight they were collecting. The boy confessed. He said that they can pay them 500 per person. If you get one person and carry the person to them, they give you 500. It was what they were doing in this country. So he said that if you happen to carry,
It's still being done.
if you happen to
That's
carry,
one of you referencing.
yeah, if you happen to carry three persons at 1,500, you'd be like, if I run my back with you at theater, I can even get 1,500 United States dollars. So I feel that it's easier, it's an easier way for me to get money. I mean, it was what he said. Imagine how evil and wicked the war is. You go on the street, you call for backmen. At times they will set up a particular place that they will carry you. They have their ambush there. As soon as they reach you there,
Yeah,
they
that is
take
why.
you, turn you over. Somebody
Sure.
that you don't know from anywhere. So that is where they start to confess because at times something start to push them. Yeah. They start to feel bad as to what they are doing. Who tell you that some of these people who are doing these things, they don't feel somehow. But they feel that it's their own business. So it shouldn't give them problem. It shouldn't be it doesn't look bad to them. That's just how they feel. So that's it, Andrews. Let's go to the Facebook and be able to get some comments from there. You have Honorable Denua or Mayomotie. He says, following from Kakata City, Makibi County. Thank you. Hajin Mayer says, good morning, VOL and the peace loving people of Maryland County. I'm watching from District 13, Monterey County at my business spot. Politician turned businessman. Business is very, very much important, my brother. It's the same business we are talking about.
Right. It's the opposite. Where business people turn into
Polit-
politicians. He live in politics to business.
That's how the word is. Carrie's Rito Fabulous says, good morning, Miss Amira Mola. Thanks for the show. I'm following from ELWA Junction. Thank you. Henry helps, he sent an emoji and is clapping. And then Henry Hill also says 100% perfect. And Alice Colin Lewis, he says, thank you ever so much, Samira, for your presentation this morning. I'm watching from Jamaica Road on Bruce Island. Thanks for following. Next thing, Flomo says, good morning, VUL. I'm watching from Looking Town District number 15. And then Samuel N. Yiman says, watching from Providence City. That's all the comments we have for our Facebook page. And it's about time that we open the phone lines and be able to interact with the public. We will give you people ample time to be able to respond to all of the talking points we talked about this morning. We talked about the issue of the RIA chief police officer, chief security. He responded to the issue of for the drug into the country. I mean, Mr. Andrew said that the name is, I don't know, is Smith or the drug or the
It's
leads.
a long name. So you just take the short form is METH.
Okay,
METH.
Meth
METH.
and
Yeah.
about that issue. And he said that he wasn't even there when the ghost came to the RIA airport. And all of the people we have been talking with, they are just giving contradicting statements. They are not going straight to the issue to address that. And if it's true that it's not a drug or leaves or whatever, then why are they kind of hiding it and responding to it as a tea. Why is it like that? We talked about it. And from there, we went and talked to Samuel Huff from the US. He spoke about peace and he spoke about his relationship with the Liberian community.
He's
In,
supporting CDC, just
yes,
that he didn't want to be very definitive, but you could tell from how he
from how,
spoke.
of course,
Yeah,
he's a supporter of CDC. Yeah,
yeah.
at last he said it when he went outside. He said it. He said it. And he's there working with the Liberian community. He served as president from 2013 to 2017. And after that, we went over to Grace and she brought us info as per the president visit in Bon County, some of the good works he is doing there. He constructed and dedicated a new market in Salala district, Bon County. In Salala, he dedicated the market that was constructed there by him. And Grace also spoke about a bridge that he started to work on right away because the citizens laid their part to him, telling him that he should be able to help them to fix that bridge because it's very necessary in the county. And also gave the girl scholarship in Bong County, the girl who presented one of the things. He gave a scholarship to any of the university within Liberia. And our Unity Party rally is set for Sunday, September 17th. We all know, and they said that they are going to be turning the country green that day. And the venue is the Antoinette Tottenham Stadium. And as I'm informed that CDC they cancel all of the activities for that Sunday because they were urging their supporters that they shouldn't get into the street to come into physical art with the Unity Party or people. So they cancel all of the activities for Sunday
That
using
that
Unity
that
Party.
is a wise decision.
Yes, yes.
That's a wise decision. And lately, the rallies have all been going peaceful.
Yeah.
I think that's how it ought to be. After CDC, you had ACOP, they had the rally, and it was peaceful. No sign of any violence whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
So Sunday is Unity Party. We saw C on s- Thursday,
Yeah,
and
Thursday.
we saw near C on Sunday,
Mm.
and probably we might see another C or oversee on
Because
Sunday.
I'm told that Unity Party they are going to come up in their numbers. I've been hearing it, the momentum. I have been feeling it already from the beginning of this week. Wherever I go to sit, we'll always talk about it. We're pulling up in our numbers. We'll show them,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can see Unity Party and CDC are the two historically crowd pooling
Mhm. Yeah,
parties.
yeah. They are the major
Besides
parties.
their brand,
Mhm.
they are the two parties that pull crowd. Beyond them, you have the other people who are just building up. CDC and Unity Party, they aren't building up crowd.
Mm.
No, they are already brands.
They're already up to the top.
So
Mhm.
if you watch CDC, whenever CDC is having whatever the rally, you see a sea of people, you see multitudes. Whenever Unity Party is having a rally, you see sea of people, you see multitude. Uh, put the two of them aside, bring the other people on board.
It's
No,
not going to
you're
be
never
like
going to
that.
be by
It's
violence.
not.
So,
It will take gradual
so,
time for them
so
to bring themselves like that
yeah,
too.
so it's not. It wouldn't be a surprise to anybody if we saw the masses,
Mm,
saw a sea of people on Sunday. It
mhm.
wouldn't be a surprise. That's who they are.
Yeah, sure. So that's it.
And
These
no
are
disrespect. I mean, no disrespect to the other parties where they get a normal. No disrespect, but that's the reality.
no, that's the reality. Nobody can hold you on that or be able to say it is not true. That's the real truth. So these are some of the things that we discussed in our last talking points. We talked about the man who it's extracting human parts and selling it as bushmeat in Maryland County. That's it. Let's take this last comment from Facebook and then we'll go to the phone lines. Jeffrey Pierce says, good morning, Voice of Liberia. I'm following you for birthday. Samara, can you please connect me with Samuel Hoffer? I want to engage him on some development. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll do that after the show. Just text me. So you can call us on 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 to be a part of this discussion and make your own contribution on Good Morning Liberia. Too many talking points this morning. Call us on 0770 907 907 Let's take our first call. Okay. Keep putting your calls. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and what do you join us from?
I'm Melvin TG gonna call you from Jova GB District, Margibi County, District number 5.
Okay.
Samara, I just want to thank you for the show.
Mhm. Go ahead. You are live.
Yeah, so I just want to commend Samara for the talking points and your co-host in studio. I want to make my contribution on few of the talking points.
Okay.
I
Go
will
ahead.
start with this. I will start with this ritualistic act first because it's devilish.
Okay.
I would like for us to introduce capital punishment, no matter how punishment is bad, but what is going on is devilish. I live in Giddy Belt and I live in rural Liberia. I'm a teacher here, and these acts take place mostly in the rural parts of Liberia,
Mhm.
and it is bad. So we need to introduce a capital punishment. And I
Okay.
would really like to switch to the president's visit to Brown County.
Mhm.
I think he is making inroads. The people are talking to him. They know that he's the development champion, and he's the development champion. And everywhere he goes, he's making the mark as he has done for the past uh, 5.5 years of almost
Okay.
6 years plus.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Samara, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and what do you join us from?
This is A. Andrews, and I speak to you from Central Monrovia.
Okay.
I will highly appreciate you. The voice I'm hearing, is this Sam Andrews from Capital FM?
He is now Sam Andrews with VOL.
Okay, so I want you to kindly give him my number. I want to speak to him urgently because there's some damaging information, and I want
So
to talk with
so
him to give him
so it's
information.
better you just read out your number than he's going to jot it down.
077938245.
Okay. Thank you.
Urgent, let him call me. Take
Okay.
care.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Samara, and good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you so much to you people for the presentation this morning.
Mm.
For my attention, how to do with the issue of ritualistic killing in this country. I think there's a need by in the 21st century for all to introduce capital punishment because it's too much. I worked in Lofa before, I worked in home. People just go about deliberately killing people for no justifiable reason.
Mm.
Yes. And at the end of the day, for $700 somebody kills somebody in one country, they make it work for $700.
Mm.
Somebody killing at work because he told them not to go
Cassava
Qatar, go
leaf.
Qatar. What's that? In the 21st century,
Mm.
it's barbaric and unacceptable. I think the whole thing comes from the background where 250,000 plus people die in Liberia, people kill people, nothing came from all of it. People feed are feeding in the order of the day.
Mm.
And we can't be part and parcel of the Committee of Nations in the 21st century. We cannot continue to permeate our society. Honestly, for me, it baffles me. It really brings me down.
Okay.
Every day you hear on the news that indeed somebody kills somebody. At the end of the day, the person will just walk the street and nothing will come from all of it. It's so
Okay.
unfortunate for our society. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. So keep putting through your calls on 0770 907 907 0880 Again, I read out the numbers 0770 907 0880 and be able to make your own contribution on Voice of Liberia. We talked about the incident that happened at the Rabat International Airport. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
Okay, I'm Pastor Emmanuel Duncan and I call you from Capitol Hill.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it really, draws my attention, concerning the ritualistic killing in Liberia. As somebody said, these things happen when people are very wicked in the land. These are wickedness. Why would somebody kill his wife for cooking cassava leaf? Simply because the lady cook cassava leaf, you can look for another thing to eat. But the world is getting very, very wicked. We are living in a time where the world is going to the end. These are, things that the Bible prophesies. Can you imagine that there's a little seed right behind the church, right behind my church there. Just little seed, people come from the community, those boys, and they practice there. But every time they chunk the ball on top, they sing, chunk the ball on top, they sing. And one day I called the other boy and said, well, each time you chunk the ball on top, they sing, and the sing gets spoiled, and we teach it. And the other little ball, while they were playing, he told my son, he said, one day we'll come and point the chest. There will be inside, will point the chest. Yes. A little boy between 17, 18 years old. He said that.
Okay.
But anyway, I just went there, after my son told me, I went to his mother and I told him, I said, he doesn't want to live long because he didn't say this against me, he said it against God.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Samurai.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
But I'm not live. I'm near the radio and I'm not live. You did it to me in the first call. Hello?
You are live.
Yeah, this is Melvin Kijigo and I phone in from GB District, GB County.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself on the radio now because I'm near the radio. I try to get far for the feedback. All right, as I said, I'm Melvin Kijigo and I phone in from GB District, GB County.
Go ahead, Melvin.
And I stopped at the talking point where I said I want to thank the president for canceling all the party activities, the campaign activities for Sunday. Okay. That shows that CDC is all for peace. Because when we have our supporters, sometimes they want to go on loan. Some of them who don't understand political maneuvering, they want to go on loan, and that can cause chaos and confusion. Okay. So I just want to thank the Martin Coalition for Democratic Change for canceling all campaign activities. I also want to strike this key issue. I think we need to keep the peace for these elections.
Okay.
Because I can be on the other side of the divide, you on the other side of the divide.
Thank you, Melvin.
We can put our...
Yes, let's stay your time already. Good morning. Okay, that person left the line. Let's take this one. Good morning. Good morning. You have to drift away from your monitor. That person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Your name and where do you join us from?
Yeah, Romeo calling from District 17.
Okay, straight to the point.
Yeah, I really wonder, my attention has been drawn to the killing in this country.
Okay.
So I really want to ask Mr. Andrews as to what he got the idea when it comes to law, because the thinking that went on during Tobo's administration, what are the laws they exist? And when somebody kills, they can be hanged. I want you to please help me what the laws they exist in our constitution and the follow the bureau.
Okay. Hello? Okay.
Hello?
You are live. Okay, so we got your question. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
Good morning. Thank you this morning. This is Officer Saskita. I do join you from the most started county this morning, one county, District 3 in Bangla City this morning.
CDC's Papi Keita.
So, CDC Papi Success Keita.
I never saw your comment on Facebook this morning.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I came late because I was in the country, I can't listen to radio except Facebook Live, so kind of gives me difficulty. I went some village this morning for coming back to Banga this morning.
Okay, go ahead to the point.
Thank you. Let me say hello to you this morning and the police. This issue has become cultural in our society on the line of killing, boss, girlfriend, wife, is not necessary for. And already we're not plenty in Liberia. And you always hear the kind of thing somebody kill a woman for crime business, somebody kill a woman for jealousy, somebody kill a woman for cooking cassava. Are you kidding me? Because of cooking soup, I don't want to take somebody's life away. So sometimes yeah, we agree that at this time now we are law abiding people in this country. But sometimes the brother just left the line and we're trying to see that Moses law. For me personally, I think that's gonna be fair for us in Liberia because every time we hear somebody kill that woman for driving, for piece of meat, for cooking soup, for going to boyfriend. And at the end of the day, the people go to the prison. I'm from the sector of the prison. And at the end
Okay.
of the day, the people go to the prison and then be convicted, sentenced to 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. At the end of the day, the person will come up, but that person
Okay.
never then take away.
All right.
So
Thank
that
you.
will be nothing to bring the left back. So it's not
Thank
that
you.
the government needs to do something about that. Thank you.
Thank you. So keep calling us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. We talked about, let's take this one. Good morning.
Morning, morning, morning.
Good morning. And where do you join us from?
But I'm going to think of the but Andrew, that is a good point. That's for you from the government. I'm making a mistake.
Yeah, well, let's see. I'm on both, but not very seldom on the morning hours or in the morning hours. I'm in the afternoon.
Okay. I just want to. My opinion is just going to, they kind of yeah, but we're still the weapon for the working cassava. Man, what's wrong with all of this country? Then move over look what the guy was doing in the news and there. Look what the guy was doing. Selling human parts, man. So God be the glory. I thank you, my dear brother.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm Lahad Kodi. I'm calling from Calcutta.
Go ahead.
Okay, my concern has to do with the drug issue at our international airport.
Okay.
My sister, let you know. For us, some of us, we really know that Liberia people that are living all right now don't love this country. And because they don't love this country, they want your children, your good children that are coming up for them to be destroyed. When we were born in this country, we know up to now, you the journalists, you don't even know where that gun is. Now the drug issue, one, it is linking with somebody with big hand, who call it big hand in this country. We are not found. No hand, no taste. So they come, the only thing you and my dad should do, let's pray for our children and all. That we keep talking to our children to counsel them so they can be part of this thing. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
I call from Jakarta this morning.
Okay, go ahead.
I really want to appreciate you, my sister, this morning for the show. And I want to commend our president for his hard work in the Syria country. And I want to appreciate our brother who is up there for his word of encouragement this morning. For those of our brothers who are doing wickedness to our children, it is only God that will judge them. And I really want to say thank you again for the show. Thank you, my sister.
Okay, thank you. So keep calling us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
My name is Jima Gideon and got 24 on TV for the beside Clarence.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank and appreciate our president for that. out there and came up with to revamp our tradition to be careful on the seven, all the coming out, all the territory of the United Party will be coming off. So every tradition will be careful how to move. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Keep calling us on 0770-907-907-088-0907-907 and be able to make your point on Good Morning Liberia. If you are just tuning in, you are currently listening to Voice of Liberia 104.1, 104.1, and we are located at Capital Bypass. And we'd like to say good morning to the people of Makibi County. That is Voice of Liberia 89.7. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
I'm Emmanuel Ade.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want to say God Managia for anything for all. And I really love him for his behavior. He did well for us in this country.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. And name where do you join us from?
My name is Christian K. Gemeko. I'm calling from Patrick community.
Go ahead.
I want to say thank you so much for the show this morning. What I want to say is that because we're coming outside on the 17th,
Mhm.
it's coming sunny. And Honorable Daz, you will say my boss now.
Mhm.
I did have to find means to come to Body Factory, plant seed. That will be able to put ourselves together and get one, two things. Like share how we'll be able to print our shirt, what we could on the feed there.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay. And name where do you join us from?
Good morning to our afternoon there in studio there. You know,
It's
anyway,
called
this is
Bits
Edmond
and
Carr.
Pieces.
This is Edmond Carr. We don't have a say for the re-election president. We are calling from tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, this is why we always appreciate our leader for. Because once you're the leader, you take the leadership role, others will follow. Can you imagine? There was a program organized on that day. Okay. Music or concert were organized on that day. But all have been canceled. And we are doing it in the name of peace. Because our police from the other side, they jump on everything. Everything that they want to use to bring them to relevant, they will jump on it. So it is important that we listen to our leader to stay away. Let the people do theirs on Sunday. Okay, like for me, I attend church every time. But because of the inconvenience that they will call for us, I'm going to be attending my church right in the community. After which, I either follow various show, play music or watch TV and stay home until their day is over. When it's over, then I pray for with joy. So thank you very much for amplifying that which the president has said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So keep calling us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and be able to make a point on our Good Morning Liberia. We talked about the issue with the Roberts International Airport, wherein the chief security, he addressed some issues as it relates to the container that came within the country or the. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, right? You know,
Good morning.
hello?
You are live.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello.
We can keep you on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I'm not getting that. Percy, we have few more minutes to go and call it a day here. But keep calling us on 0770-907-907, to be a part of this conversation on Voice of Liberia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, you are live.
Yes. I'm speaking from Pani is Michelle. Because I'm calling from Yang.
Okay, go ahead.
30 district.
Go ahead.
Yes, I appreciate the president for the job you are doing in the 15 counties.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Walk away from your monitor.
Good morning.
Good morning. You are live. You have to walk away from your monitor and then you'll be able to put in your call. Thank you. So the numbers to call are 0770 Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Your name and where do you join us from?
My name is Aki Jacob, calling from District number 9, the South.
Go ahead.
I want to appreciate the president for what he's doing. And one of the major things that he putting on the agenda of us. And I pray God the Senate should pass that bill, the free education bill, because in order to free right now, it's education prioritized to us right now because of school fees. Some of the children get a fool for our sons and daughters to go to school.
Okay.
So I'm begging that him to fight
Okay.
in a weak man to make sure to pass that free education bill.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Solomon Danielson Jr. calling from a purple corner in Bong County to be precise, district number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, further of all, I just want to appreciate Excellency President George Manuel for his well-being for the Republic of Liberia, carrying a lot of development all over the 15 counties. So I
Okay.
just want to say things. I must give his one vote to him. I will lead him for the next 6 years.
Thank you. So keep calling us on 0770-907-907-088-0907-907. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
I'm Olive Wallow calling from UNTRA.
Okay.
And I just want to appreciate my black family for its development like two and see. I just want to say things. With all the continue.
Oh, she left the line. Keep calling us on 0770-907-907-088-0907-907. We have like 10 more minutes to call it a day here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, my name is I'm calling from District Babash.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to say to the new policy here, or for me, honestly, like new policy of bringing us or new brand new single outside like the yeah, I just want to say to them if they have any post on the internet so that this small office are going for it to be prepared that day. We are going away to be offer on Sunday.
Hmm.
Which is that.
Okay. Okay. United Party people, they, they, they are they are getting in the mood already. The momentum, we are starting to feel it. They are saying that they are going to make the Antoinette Tottenham Stadium green that day. Not just the stadium, but the whole country green that day. So that's it. Andrews, as we are with course, I don't know as to if a person asks about the law going Tottenham's administration, as to if it's still or going on as to if a person kills, you hang the person. You want to address that?
It's not a it's not a surprise that many people went that route. I expected it, and it's all because of the anger. When they hear certain things like this, it triggers anger in anybody, makes anybody vex. But the law is not sentiment. Capital punishment, or you will say death penalty, or sometimes it's referred to as judicial homicide. Uh, like from a biblical perspective, it's the same as the law. When you
You
kill,
came
they
here and
kill
say,
you.
oh, yeah.
But I don't know as to whether the Constitution is clear on that. I don't want to believe that the Constitution provides for death penalty. It might say something around that, but I think in a modified form. A lawyer who is well versed in the law can give a whole explanation on that. But I don't want to believe that there's a provision that says um, when you kill, given the degree or the gravity, you should be killed instantly,
Mhm.
or you should be hung, or whatever.
Mhm.
A lawyer is the best person because they know the law, they understand the law. But from what I do know, our constitution forbids death penalty.
Mhm. That's what I know.
You will have, there's a law. The law provides the different ways by which a person can be treated by the law itself. That is why when something happens, we go to the law. Or given the situation that we are unable to move to the law moves in to protect us and take us so that it looks into it judicially. But we can understand the sentiment of the people that everybody want death penalty when you kill, they will kill you. The law say when a person kills, there's a reason. Nothing and nobody operate in a vacuum. Everything a person does, be it accident or intentional, there is a reason. It is that reason that the law looks at. Here's a classic example. Have you not seen somebody would commit a gruesome murder and then the trial starts? And then at the close of the day, the person is acquitted. And what do you hear from the rest of the people? They are vexed. They are cursing, to say in Liberian parlance. They are condemning. They even raise the anger on the judge, at least to talk about the other people.
Mhm.
But what what that event will only tell you that the law go for the reason. It analyzes all of the bits and pieces associated with that event that may have occurred. But we look at it from a sentimental standpoint because this person did it, so action should be taken immediately.
And people feel that if you are doing it like that, then people will stop doing what they are doing. Because if
Yeah,
this man
yeah,
does
yeah,
something,
yeah. They think
you
that it
you
is
do
the
it back.
deterrent,
Uh-huh.
that it deters people, it stops or prevents people from doing such act. But the law say you don't have to. You know, when somebody killed, then you kill. So if somebody just say something funny to you, yeah, then you should return that. The very, you know why, God? Let me put it in a biblical context to tell you that the laws on earth, right? Our country constitution is right. It may have some errors in it, or let me not say error, but some areas that some people not really comfortable with, given their understanding. But the constitution, to a greater extent, it's okay. But it doesn't say it don't have some anomalies. They, the law, God Himself forbids capital punishment. God, who created all of us, He went against capital punishment. You know how it was in the days of old? And that's why when people doing it, some people they do capital punishment in their houses, in church, or everywhere, but they do not know. They think that it is right, and sometimes they justify. But the very God they serve, because one of the guys who called, I think it's a Christian, or most of them are Christians, but one there is a pastor.
Mhm.
Under the Mosaic law, here how it was. To tell you that our constitution forbids that, God Himself forbids that. That's why He changed the Old Testament. He put aside the Old Testament because the Old Testament was gruesome. Most part of the Old Testament was about capital punishment. Say, if Samira sends, or just taking this hypothetically, if you sent your little daughter
Mhm.
to do something and she outrightly refuses and says things back to you, the law say take knife and cut her throat
Mm.
and kill her.
Mm.
That's just one of several. If you went into the Old Testament, you will see it.
Mm.
So all of those gruesome acts were taking place, but there were some good ones. But God looked at it and said, no, if we continue this way, Almost everybody will finish on the earth.
Of course.
Therefore, no Old Testament. New
New
Testament,
Testament.
don't kill. Go to the law. Let the law take precedence. Everybody. Here is a classic example of a capital punishment apart from the Old Testament in the New Testament. Yeah, in John 8, the people brought this woman. They took that idea from the Old Testament and they brought it in the New Testament. They said, oh, the woman went against the law. The woman did this. So they were about to execute
Yeah.
capital punishment to stone her to death.
Mhm.
Jesus arrives on the scene. He said, no problem. You have your claim against this woman. But we beg you, let the law take precedence. Let's see now who here have not broken the very law.
Before.
So
That's one of the things too. So
every one of them, they left.
yeah.
That was a sin of capital punishment.
Mhm.
So the man said, no, when something happens, you go to the law. Let the law look into it, then the law can decide. But somebody can just do something, then you got the person you kill. So all of you who calling for capital punishment, I can understand the sentiment, but it doesn't go the way you want it to go.
Okay, so with that, quickly, we will take your parting comment before we leave today.
Yes, thank God Almighty again. We are on the second day. Hope to be around to tomorrow, the
You
third
have
day.
to be around. You got to be around.
Yeah, sure.
And
Sure.
the people love you here too. I should say that because you have people sending their number directly to you. It shows that you are a media guru. Yeah, it's something
But
that
you're just a believer. That's what you do. You put it together and see, and you add so much spice. You expose me to a number of things. So
seriously.
thank you ever so much. Yes.
You are the mean person, yes, seriously. You are the one that, aspires to it, inspire people, give them the whole insight of things. And that's just it. I must appreciate and commend you for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's it. So we meet on Bits and Pieces this afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Well, we put the bits and pieces together,
Together.
as we have put the bits and pieces together on
Good
Voice of
Morning
Liberia.
Liberia.
Oh, good morning, Liberia.
So and with that being said, this is how we are going to call it a day on Good Morning Liberia. Thanks to all of you who follow the program. Thanks to all of my friends. Once you follow Good Morning Liberia, you are my friend. And so I would like to say to the political people out there, run your campaign in peace. Continue to do what you do for the Liberian people, but do it peacefully. And on today's edition, we would like to say a big thank you to Patrick Tisa, the man who made this broadcast a success this morning. And also like to say a big thank you to DJ Secret. That is Daniel Salif, but he's popularly known as DJ Secret. He's in Magibi County, Kakata to be specific, telecom community this morning. And he carried this broadcast live on Voice of Liberia 89.7. So till we meet tomorrow morning, I would like to say eat peace, work peace, talk peace. And because it's Liberia we have, let's put Liberia first and put all political issue last. Liberia is our common denominator. Therefore, we have to protect the peace of this nation. We have been here since 7:30 this morning, Sam Andrews and I. And this is how we like to call it a day on Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samiria Wawala. So I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Bye bye.